This is the Jura Synchro podcast.
Hello everyone and welcome back to today's episode. I'm joined today not only by a guest but also a friend of mine. We're starting in Scotland and then taking a trip across the pond to Canada. My guest today is Molly Coxon, former Solway Stars and Team Nexxice skater. Welcome to the Jura Synchro podcast, Season 2, Episode 7.
Today from Wales, in the United Kingdom, with Sophie Ekstrom-Gabb.
Hello Molly and welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to have you on today.
Hi, I'm very excited to be here as well.
Amazing. Really excited to have you as my guest and dive into a bit of your skating life, really. Now, we have crossed paths briefly in synchro, and I thought it would be nice to talk about where you started. So how did you get into skating and when did you start synchro?
So I started skating when I was 7. Went through the Learn to Skate program in Dumfries, which the synchro community kind of know as the home of Trophy de Cos. So yes, my home rink is Dumfries Ice Ball. And when I was 10, I started synchro with Solway Eclipse and then eventually progressed to Solway Stars. And kind of throughout that time, I was getting introduced to the world of synchro, and over the years, I kind of realized that it spanned way beyond our little rink in Scotland, and I just fell in love with the sport.
Amazing. And how many seasons did you do with Solway Stars? When did you join their junior team, and then when was it that you kind of ended with them?
It's a little bit foggy because I skated a few seasons as a crossover with Solway Stars, but I definitely did maybe like 4 seasons with them, and my last season with them was the 2016-17 season.
Amazing. And any of like your favourite memories from skating there? Obviously, I know it's your home rink, and Trophy de Cos is one of the most famous competitions in synchro, known for obviously being an international as well. But any of your like favourite memories from skating in your home rink that you remember?
I mean, skating at Trophy de Cos was always a special time. Skating in front of a home crowd, and if anyone's been to the competition before, it's not the biggest rink, so people are just kind of backed up behind the boards, and it's a really special environment in there. So I mean, it was usually our last competition of the season as well, so you'd get to kind of show how hard you'd worked and the final product of your programs. But I, like, as much as I loved competing, I always loved the training and the process of starting with nothing and then ending with this beautiful program, or 2 with junior. So yeah, I don't know, a bit of both. Yeah.
Bit of both. Amazing. And obviously then after being in Solway, you went into senior, and now you obviously started senior in my home rink, which is where we kind of cross. Tell us a little bit about how you started senior and obviously being in my rink.
So in that 2016-17 season, my last season, I really wanted to get some senior experience because my goal of one day skating in Nexxice Senior was really kind of getting to me. I didn't know if it would ever happen, but I knew that I needed to get a little bit of experience beforehand if I were to make that work. So I approached, it was Team Spirit back in the day, talked to Kat and was able to Kat was the coach, and was able to join Team Spirit, but I also skated the Solway Stars. So I'd hop on the train to Cardiff every week or 2, which was like a 7-hour train journey, skate with them, and then obviously train with Solway still. And sometimes we would be at different competitions, sometimes we'd be at the same competition, which was obviously a very quick turnaround, like maybe 2 teams in between or something, so very hectic. But I really liked the challenge that it gave me, and it just made me want to continue on that journey to skating at the top level even more.
Amazing. And when is it that you auditioned for Nexxice? How many years did you do or how many seasons did you do with Team Spirit before Nexxice was the audition and the amazing achievement of getting in and starting your time with Nexxice?
So I only skated 1 season with Team Spirit, and then a little bit of an unconventional route to joining Nexxice, but I'd been to a couple of the summer camps in the past over in Canada, Nexxice hold like an annual skills camp. So I'd got to know some of the skaters, and Nexxice had come to Trophy de Coste a couple of times, so again got to know some of them a little bit more. And I'd crossed paths with Shelley, the head coach, a few times. So at the 2017 Trophy de Coste, I asked if I could speak to her. I was very scared to do it because I just didn't know what the outcome was going to be. But they asked her if she ever thought that I would be good enough to skate with Nexxice Senior one day. And she said yes. And then she suggested doing a year in Nexxice Junior first. And then we'd kind of see what would happen from there. So she put me in contact with Trish, the head coach of Nexxice Junior, where I sent an audition video to her, and then later on got a place in the team. But this was in my penultimate year of high school, so it was a bit of a big decision whether or not to stay for my last year, and then go after that, or to just try really hard to do well in my exams that year and then just go straight to it. And then once I got the place in junior, I just decided that it was going to happen. I'd make it work. Yeah.
Molly has experience skating not only in the UK, but also in Canada, two very different countries and very different two skating styles. So I thought it would be a good chance to talk about her time in Canada and some of the things she's learned over there. So what was it like training and living in Canada, also starting in the junior category?
It was definitely an adjustment. I was only 17 when I moved over there, so I moved without family. I moved on my own, and I was put up with a family with one of the girls that skated in the team at the time, the Oars, and I was only supposed to stay with them for a year, but we really got on really well. And Tegan, my old teammate, we got on like she's basically like a sister to me now. Yeah, we just got on like a house on fire. So I ended up staying with them for the whole time, for the whole 3 years that I was in Canada. But it was definitely difficult to say bye to my family over here and my friends, and especially now that all my friends would be doing another year at school. And yeah, but it helped being in a family environment over there. So yeah, the homesickness was real. And then as much as I tried to emulate the Nexxice style in my skating, there's nothing quite like just being thrown in it and having to just, like work like super hard to be able to catch up with everyone. My first year on junior, it was a relatively new team. There were like 5 returning skaters. So it was definitely a building year, and we were all learning together. So that was quite a nice experience as well. And we ended up getting really close through that. But yeah, and I definitely loved my year in junior, and I think it gave me so much doing that first. It wasn't necessarily on my radar to begin with until it had been suggested to me. But yeah, I learned so much. It was amazing to work with Trish, and when I moved up to senior the following year, a couple of the girls came as well. So I already had a few friends on the team. So yeah, lovely environment, but completely different training style to the UK. Way more ice time, way more of an intense practice environment, and traveling to all the different rinks. Like I was only used to training on one rink ever, apart from my last season when I would travel to Cardiff. But yeah, we would be all over the place, just wherever we could get a big chunk of ice. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, because Nexxice are obviously known for their skating style. That's kind of pretty much, their main thing. When you think of Nexxice, it is the way that they skate, and in my opinion, it's probably the most beautiful type of skating in the world. And obviously you've had it firsthand. So yeah, I mean, it's like, you've kind of briefly talked about it, kind of your transition from junior to senior, and obviously your transition of UK skating and UK training to obviously Canadian style skating and the Canadian way of skating over there. What was your type of training schedule like on when you would have training? Was it just on ice, or would you have other aspects of training as well?
It was mainly on ice. That was our biggest block of training, but we did have off ice as well. We would have in junior, we worked with a dance teacher quite a lot, whether that was kind of fitness style exercises or working on choreography throughout our routines. We were expected to keep up with our fitness on the side if nothing necessarily was timetabled. And then senior, we had a bit more off ice. We had like a ballet teacher, but he kind of did a couple of things with us. It was dance and different types of dance and fitness and Pilates and just a bunch of stuff rolled into one. You'd really ache at the end of it. We had a personal trainer as well. And then in junior and senior, you were expected to come to practice quite early to not only just warm up, but to be able to go over everything, little changes that you do in programs. In senior, we would work on lifts before every practice. And then you would stay for a substantial amount of time to do a proper cool down at the end as well.
Amazing. I don't know if I am correct in this, but I know Annie's Edges is one of the most famous skills or, exercises that you do. Was there any other exercises that you've obviously learned being in Canada that like kind of your favorite ones, or ones that you feel like you gained a lot of experience and skills with while being over there? I'm a true believer that going back down to the basics and really getting a solid foundation is the way to become the best skater that you can be, and to really understand the blade and the edges and the body positions and how your knee action helps with things and your ankle bend and all of that stuff. So I'd had a little bit of an insight into the skills in the past when I went over to the skills camp in the summer, and we would do some of those exercises as well. But I guess because Nexxice is such an established team, and Anne is just an icon in skating, there's a lot of experience behind it as well. So there would be exercises that would come from years ago that maybe you didn't do as much the season before that were really interesting, or sometimes something wasn't quite working in a program. So Anne would make up an exercise on the spot, and I always found that really inspiring to be around, because it would always help us in the end. She'd just make it up in like 2 minutes, and then all of a sudden we'd do what we were stuck on. So I think I liked being able to improve on the skills that I already knew, but just having the versatility to be able to hop into something completely new was really exciting too. Yeah, and some of your teammates, when you did join senior, some of them had been there for years. I'm pretty sure you had one of the longest reigning Nexxice Synchro skaters when you were there. Was that something you also found really helpful? Is that something you did do, was learn off of the skaters that have been there for a while, but maybe also the people that were new to the team as well as yourself? You learn a lot from the coaches, obviously. But so Kelly she was on the team for ages, and I had known her for a little while before that as well, through camps and just her coming over to Dumfries, etc. So I definitely would learn a lot from her, even skaters that had been on the team just a year longer than me, and even skaters that had been on the team for the same time as me, or when I had my second season in senior, who were first year skaters. We all just can bring something a bit different to the team, whether that's a certain skill or a personality trait or just anything. I think I just learn a lot from everyone, not only just the coaches. So yeah. Of course, no, definitely. And I think that's kind of what it is with a team sport, isn't it? Like you said, it's not always just a skating skill or a skill. It's also maybe learning things about yourself and, learning things about people that you didn't know, and you moving over there so young. I can imagine that's probably only helped you with, your life outside of skating, as well as moving over there on your own. Living in a different country on the other side of the world is probably a massive thing. And obviously, congratulations for you skating over there. And obviously, the big main part of your time in Nexxice was your Worlds medal. So what was that Worlds like for you, and obviously the feeling of winning that Worlds medal?
So it had always been an ambition of mine to get to Nexxice Senior, but to win a Worlds medal, that was always just it almost seemed like an unattainable goal, because it just seemed, so like, I don't know, I never thought it would actually happen. But I'd been to watch a couple of Worlds in the past. I went to watch the 2014 Courmayeur Worlds and the 2016 Budapest Worlds. So I'd always loved the environment at Worlds, and I knew that it would be completely different being a skater in it. But what Nexxice kind of teach you to do really well is to stay in this kind of bubble, not to block out the distractions around you, and to trust your training, and to just be at one with the team. So as much as it could have been a very overwhelming experience, the training that we had been given and the lead up to it really made me feel prepared for the event. And it was definitely a bit scary getting onto the ice for the first time, and it being a massive arena. I think it was like sold out that year or something. And it was Helsinki, and Finland is obviously a massive synchro country, so it was an amazing environment. But I think we all just got on the ice when you had a job to do, and the main goal was just to skate a clean, strong program. And we were the last to skate after the short program. So I knew when the scores came up that we had come third, and I was very happy. And then all of us were very happy. One of my favorite moments is, I don't know, usually you see Nexxice pretty composed at the kiss and cry, and we do that intentionally, but we kind of broke it for a little bit there, and we just gave Shelly a massive hug, and it was a really special moment. Yeah.
I vaguely remember coming home from that Wheels in Finland, and I think we were in the airport together. We were. And had the World medal on, and even I was a bit like, oh God, I know her, but I'm in a bit of awe. Like, she's got this World medal. This is an incredible achievement. And I do remember bumping into your mum, you and your mum in the airport with your medal on, which was, lovely for me to see as well. Because it's nice to see a UK skater be able to achieve that, as well as, not just knowing of you, but kind of knowing you as well, which is quite special.
Yeah, I did wear the medal in the airport. I was so proud of it. I was like, I am not taking this off for a little while.
I don't blame you.
You don't usually wear your medals around the house, so I was like, I'll just wear it for a little bit while it still feels not odd. Yeah.
I don't blame you. I probably would do the exact same thing.
Usually, you watch synchro. Now, you may hear it.
After having 3 amazing years in Canada with Nexxice and coming home with a bronze medal, Molly is back in Edinburgh for both her skating and her personal life. Now, you're back in the UK with some incredible experiences and achievements in Canada. What are you doing now that you're back home?
So the plan was always to just stay in Canada for 3 years. Just with the way that schooling works, that was kind of the time limit that I had. And I am now at the University of Edinburgh studying medical sciences, which I'm really enjoying. It's very hard, but I'm enjoying it. And I'm also helping out with my old team, Solway Stars, Solway Eclipse and Solway Comets a little bit as well, the younger teams, but mainly Solway Stars, the junior team. And yeah, we have a competition next weekend, so I'll be going down there to Sheffield. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this venture into the coaching life as well. I always knew that I wanted skating to be a part of my life, and I guess my time in Canada only strengthened that, and I couldn't just leave it and say goodbye, especially with COVID. It wasn't necessarily the ending that I wanted, just with everything, the world's getting cancelled, etc. So I've been really lucky to have the opportunity to be involved in my old club now.
And is that something you were always planning on doing, whether it was for your old club? Was coaching something that you had kind of always imagined yourself doing, or kind of, like you said, maybe just fell into it at the right time?
I think I didn't really know how big of a bigger part of my life I wanted it to be. But when I'd get to come home for about 4 weeks in between the seasons, and I would do like a couple skills with my home club then, and I quite liked that. And every year when I would come back, I would have more experience and more maturity to kind of contribute to it as well. So I think it just built upon, and just by the end of it, I actually really enjoyed coaching, and I've really enjoyed the process this year and getting more involved and being able to travel to competitions with the girls as well. Yeah.
And obviously with uni, I can imagine that is a very difficult subject to do, and something that at the end of it will be a career kind of job. Is coaching still going to be on your radar while you're in uni and just kind of helping with that one, you know, passing over the incredible skills you've probably learnt over? Is that something you're always going to constantly do, at least for the next 3 years and possibly more?
It's hard to say because I don't really know what my life is going to look like in a few years' time. I don't know how big a part I want coaching to be, and obviously like a medical sciences degree is very far removed from skating, but I love the sport and I always want to be involved in it, and if I can stay really involved, then I'll be really happy, but it just kind of depends. I'm taking it a year at a time right now, and we'll just see where it goes, I guess.
Amazing. Well, good luck for obviously uni, and good luck for yourself and Sheffield. I'll also see you then next weekend. So it'd be nice to bump back into each other, obviously not as skaters, but as a coach and a skater. So yeah, well, good luck obviously with your team and yourself now as the coach, and your future plans for that, wherever they may lead you.
Thank you very much.
The Jura Synchro Podcast. It's the final part.
Before we wrap up this week's episode, we're going to continue with our tradition of finishing on a short little game. Today's game, I've got, to be fair, slightly different to maybe what we've done before, but we're going to play Who Am I? So, Mol, I'm going to describe 5 teams to you with facts about the team, obviously in disguise, so they're not too easy, and you're just going to have to try and guess who the team is. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, I hope so.
Amazing. You'll be fine. The first one is, we sadly no longer skate together, but we did end our days winning a Wales medal in our home country, skating to a very flowing programme. Who are we?
Team Surprise Sweden.
Correct. Second one is, we competed for the first time a few years ago and attended our first World Championships in the country of Finland. We might be known for our Vogue programme. Who are we?
I don't know the name, but it's China, right?
Yeah, I had to Google the name as well because I couldn't remember the name, but it is in China, so well done. Okay, the third one. Our home rink hosts Mozart Cup in Austria, and we're most known for being rather sweet. Who are we?
So it's, oh my gosh. Sweet Mozart? Sweet Mozart.
Yeah, Sweet Mozart. Yeah, it is.
Oh my god.
Amazing. 3 out of 3 so far. You're doing amazing. The fourth one is, we are ready for Elite 12 and the hopeful future of the Olympics. We are also known for our fun and exciting program themes. Who are we?
12. Hayden?
I believe at the moment they're one of the only senior teams that is ready for Elite 12.
This is Hayden, so the Hayden Elite, and the USA.
Amazing, correct, 4 out of 4. And the last one. In the last World Championships in Finland, we gained the greatest achievement of becoming the new 5th country able to send 2 teams in the next World Championships. Who are we?
Italy.
It's the opposite of being cold.
Oh, shivers.
Yeah, correct.
Oh my gosh, my mind is blank.
Well, amazing. You got 5 out of 5. So congratulations. Well done. So I didn't think it was too hard. I hope it wasn't too hard.
My mind just drew blanks. I'm ready to skate again, so I need to see their names.
Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. I've loved diving into the skating journey of yourself and all of your greatest achievements.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been really nice being able to share my experience a little bit. And yeah, like you said at the beginning, not just with someone that I don't really know very well, but with a friend. So yeah, really, really happy to have been here today. Thank you.
Thank you. No, you're very welcome. So next week, the Express Show starts again, and then we're back with another episode of the Jura Synchro podcast. Bye for now, and I'll catch you guys soon.
Jura Synchro Podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. The musical theme of this show was created by Scatmix.pro and Carl Hugo.